twit.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to first ask you though, high-end audio traditionally is two-channel, and yet you were showing multi-channel. There was at least one other room showing multi-channel music. How is that going? How important is that in the high-end audio space?
There's really, I don't know if it's a you know, alliteration or something like that. It's tubes, two-channel, and turntables. Is really the grouping for audiophiles, and I certainly get my share of people that poke their head in the door and see, you know, video and see multi-channel speakers, you know, in this case the German physics Emperor MK2s, which are larger than a double wide refrigerator. I mean, their things are just gigantic, and say, well, that's not for me. And I even play and compare and contrast a stereo mix of some of the product that I have released, and then switch to the audience perspective, which puts you kind of in the best seat in the house in the recording room that we deal with, which is a live auditorium. And then I switch it to the 5.1 with the aggressive mix, which I call stage. And the you know, then I kind of poll the people that were there in the room, say, well, you know, hold your hand up if you like the 5.1, and a couple people usually do. And then, you know, there were times certainly when people said they prefer the stereo, and it's because of what they're used to. And, you know, in this particular case, you know, I said, well, it's not surprising, especially in this context, that people are going to stick with stereo speakers, because adding 3 more speakers would be another $800,000. So it's, you know, in that particular room, it was special. But, you know, there are no alternatives, and we can talk about it now or a little bit later. In fact, I just had lunch with Robert Margolev, a very prominent engineer in the history of record making, and most notably with Stevie Wonder back in the 70s, about delivering headphone presentations of 5.1 surround mixes. So while it has obviously diminished in terms of new productions that are going on in 5.1 surround mixing, there is a large number of, like I mentioned before, the SACDs and DVD audios that were done back in the just past 2000 timeframe, as well as all the stuff from the 70s and 80s in quad. Those things can very easily be translated, transferred, and encoded into surround files now. Getting the interest up is probably, I don't want to say it's a lost cause, but it's very challenging in the audiophile space. And so when we start looking at this, you know, it's the emergence of headphone delivery and quality headphones, most notably, that might bring us back to a place where you can listen to an outside of your head presentation. In my case, you know, I'm a big fan of the Smith Realizer. Darren Fong's got an algorithm. DTS has got an algorithm. Dolby's got an algorithm for producing, you know, a 5.1 or a more immersive presentation in your headphones, simply by pre-processing or actually doing it in real time as you listen to a file. But you have to start from a stereo or from a surround file, which means the only candidates are those that have already been mixed in surround. Again, a limited catalog.